While we're on gender issues, over to Canada now, where, you thought we just got out of Pride Month. Today is the last day of Pride Month. And, of course, you might remember back in March we had World Pride in Sydney, which, of course, was part of the Mardi Gras that had Lydia Thorpe laying down in front of buses and whatever. That was the best thing I've ever seen at Mardi Gras. But the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, has put out a tweet saying it's not just Pride Month anymore. And you can take a look at the tweet here. It's written in French there, but I'll give you a little translation. He says it's the season of Pride. So we've moved beyond Pride Month now. You just thought we were getting over it. Oh no, there's a whole season coming. Then you move on to the US, where the Health Secretary Rachel Levine says it's the summer of Pride.
My name is Admiral Rachel Levine, and I have the honour of being the Assistant Secretary for Health at the United States Department of Health and Human Services. Happy Pride. Happy Pride Month, and actually, let's declare it a summer of pride. Happy Summer of Pride.
Now, personally, I look forward to the summer of cricket and bring it on. That's what's going on over in the UK at the moment with the Ashes. Love it, go Australia. The summer of pride, what are we coming to? But it's no surprise that this is happening. I mean, we've got one day a year for our war veterans and pretty much one day a year for everything else. I mean, a month is not good enough for LGBTIQ plus people. We've got to give them a whole season. It's no wonder when you look at the numbers going through the roof. I mean, let's have a look at some stats out of the US. The number of people who identify as being LGBT, for instance, I think we've got a graph there. Look at 2022. That red line is Gen Zers, right? 19.7%. Nearly 1 in 5 Gen Z people now say they are LGBT. No wonder we're giving them a whole season. And then you look at the number of people who believe that there are more than 2 genders. You go back just a few years, even Gen Z, it was 39%. They were in the minority. Now the majority of Gen Zers say no, there are more than 2 genders. Forget about Pride Month, forget about Pride season or even Pride summer. Why don't we just have Pride Century at this point? It's unstoppable.
Just make it permanent Pride, Liz.
I think that's what we're getting, whether we like it or not. But the question is, where is this coming from? Of course, they always argue, oh, no, this is because everyone was so oppressed in the past, they couldn't identify as their true selves. But every other night, we're talking about where this kind of social contagion is coming from. Kids are being taught things that introducing their little malleable minds to ideas at a very young age. And so that is where I would argue these kinds of stats, they're starting to come through. The younger generations, of course there's more than 2 genders. And of course I identify somewhere on the spectrum, but not those binary 2. They're boring, they're outdated, they're just social constructs. It goes to show you just how frighteningly effective all that propaganda brainwashing has been.
Well, when you consider that, and have a look at this next clip from a recent Pride March in, I think it was in New York City, in America, have a listen to what they're saying. Caleb, as you said, when 1 in 5 Gen Zers identifies as LGBTQ and more than 50% believe there are more than 2 genders, when they say they're coming for your children, they're not joking.
I mean, one assumes they're trying to take the piss there out of people who are saying, oh, you're coming for our children. Why would you even do that? Like, it is just inviting criticism openly. And seriously, most people are live and let live. Couldn't give 2 hoots whether you're gay or straight or whatever. Just get on with your life and let me get on with mine. We don't need a whole month every year, now a season, now a year, now an entire bloody century to talk about this stuff.
Well, let's